like camp's been going? I mean, we talked to you like a week ago at this point, or a little more than that. How do you feel like it's been going over the last week?
I think it's been going well. I think as an offense, we've been progressing. We've been improving, and that's a challenge every day to improve. And been focused on some different situations, trying to practice getting ready for everything. Every part of a game and certain situations that are going to come up. So I feel good. I think I feel like we've been improving.
Daniel, what do you recall about your first preseason action as a rookie? Not first start, first time you got in.
I remember being excited and just to run out there on the field for the first time was exciting to be out there. I think we hit a couple plays and went down and scored. Could be wrong, but I was just excited to be out there for the first time, live football, and playing in the stadium, taking NFL snaps. So.
Butterflies?
I was certainly a little bit nervous, but once you get that first snap and get going, it was just fun being out there.
Daniel, how much preseason work do you think you need? Do you want to play half of one of these games, or we know you're not playing this week, there's 2 more. How much do you think you need to be ready?
That's really not up to me. I think my job is to be ready. I think practice and making sure I'm focusing every day to improve and get to where I need to be as a player. So I think that's not my job. My job is just to be ready.
Zach Wilson said something interesting in Jets practice yesterday. He said he makes throws in practice that he doesn't necessarily make in a game to see kind of what he can get away with, what he can, can I get that ball in there? Do you do that, or do you take practice exactly like you take a game, only do things you would do in a game in practice?
I think there's certain situations maybe you treat a little bit differently, and you're always learning in practice. I think that's the most important thing. I heard what he said, and I think his comment about learning and improving and learning what you can do. I think that's true. I think you certainly want to treat it like a game. You want to get in the habit of reading defense and putting the ball where it needs to be. But
Where's your chemistry at with Kadarius? Obviously, you guys haven't had a ton of reps during camp.
Yeah, I think it's good. He's a smart guy, and so I think it's just reps. He's getting out there and improving. I think he's got a good understanding of the offense, and I know he's working hard to get out there as much as he can.
Did you know him before? Because I know he's training with David Morris and he's from Mobile. Did you know him at all?
Yeah, I really didn't know him. Didn't know him great before that. David obviously knows him well and trained him for a while, so it's cool to have that connection. But I didn't know him before.
Anything you've seen him throw? Heard he can throw.
Yeah, he can throw it. He can throw it for sure. He's got a big arm, so he can sling it.
On the flip side of that, you have gotten a lot of reps with Sterling Shepard. I mean, even just over the course of 3 years, it seems like your guys' connection is getting closer. Like, how would you describe that relationship you have with him, and how much you guys kind of understand, timing and all that stuff with him? It's been great. I think he's had a good camp, and someone who I've certainly spent a lot of time with the past couple of years, and threw a lot together this offseason, before that. I think we spent a lot of time on the field together, so that certainly helps, and he's had a great camp.
David Sills to move to Charlotte this offseason to get a lot of time with you.
That was good. His sister's down there, so it made sense for him, made sense for me. He's an extremely hardworking guy. He'll run routes all day and get up and do it again the next day. So he's an extremely hard worker and good football player.
Can you talk about Andrew Thomas and his development from what you've seen as a rookie till now?
Yeah, Andrew's. I think Andrew's done a great job, and he's an extremely talented player, a smart player, and a guy who comes to work every day, works hard and prepares well. So I think it's just getting reps and working up front, seeing things, seeing looks, and then working as a group, and I'm certainly part of that also. So just working on that, working the chemistry, and I think those guys have done a lot of good things this camp.
I apologize.
Would you prefer to play Saturday? We know you're not. Is that a conversation between you and the coach to determine that? What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not my decision, and you know, I'm the player, he's the coach, so I certainly that's the way it goes, and you know, my job is to prepare and prepare as if I was playing and help the team prepare.
Dave Gettleman, he said in a radio interview the other day, like, it's a big year for you and for the team and for everybody. That's kind of like stating the obvious. What do you sort of think of that, or how do you sort of approach that?
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's a big year for all of us. You know, every year's a big year, and you know, there's you know, playing in the NFL, you're expected to perform and perform well. So it's a big year for me. It's a big year for everyone.
I know you didn't have a preseason last year, but does this preseason seem strange in the sense that you're resting early, and then the last game, Joe said you're going to play more as like gearing up for the games?
Yeah, I really haven't thought about it a whole lot. Kind of just focusing on what we're doing now and preparing now, you know, through these first 3 weeks of camp, and focusing on what we're doing here. So, like I said, my job is to be ready and work to improve every day.
Daniel,
We'll take two more.
building off what Jordan just asked you, the reason people keep focusing on year 3, I think, is because Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield had big year 3s last year. Do you know either of those guys enough to reach out to them to see, you know, maybe why it clicked so much for them in year 3?
Yeah, there's you know, there's been yeah, there's certainly stuff to learn from those guys and learn from people who've had success, you know, early in their careers, whether it be 2, 3, 4, or, you know, whatever it is. You know, I'm focused on, you know, improving myself and making sure that I'm in a position to play well, and this offense is in a position to play well.
You guys talk about how it's the second year in the system, and that's a benefit. But, like, give me an example. Like, how does that benefit you? Like, how do you think that helps you guys?
Well, I think, you know, if you look at where we were 3 weeks in last year versus where we are now in terms of, you know, what we were installing or the conversations we were having about certain plays, or, you know, we're obviously at a much higher level this year. So I think we were able to install plays faster, which puts us, you know, further ahead, you know, week 3 than we were last year. So that's an advantage for us, for the whole offense, and for me.